This episode of Other People's Airplanes is supported by WinTee, aviation t-shirt art. Today on Other People's Airplanes, we talk about the benefits of hitchhiking. Welcome to Other People's Airplanes, a show where we bring you into the cockpit and along for the ride whenever we do awesome aviation-related stuff. I'm your host, David Allen. Now today we have a couple of news stories, and then we're going to jump into a little bit about podcasting and why I do what I do. So if you haven't heard of podcasting, and I wouldn't be surprised if some of you haven't, we're going to give you a little bit of information. But before that, let's do the news. So for today's news, we're going to be welcoming back Ben Sklar with General Aviation News. How's it going, Ben?
It's going well, David. How about yourself?
Just great. What do we got today?
Well, just a couple things. One's actually from about a week ago. 15 Ohio mayors got together and wrote a joint letter to President Obama, lamenting the fact of this $100 user fee on kerosene burning aircraft and the challenges that would place on the already struggling aviation economy in their state.
And these user fees just keep cropping up in different areas. What have the Ohio mayors said about it?
Well, they lament the fact that it's just one more burden on the business owner and the private aircraft operators. Although there's a lot of discussion that this user fee is targeted at turbine-powered aircraft that would be operating in controlled airspace, so 18,000 feet and above. So most of us in the general aviation, the hobbyists wouldn't be impacted by this, but a lot of people don't like the divide and conquer mentality of this proposed user fee by the president. Not only that, but a lot of people would argue that it's the camel's nose underneath the tent idea that once we start with turbine-powered aircraft above 18,000 feet, operating in the Alpha. Well, next year it might be, the piston aircraft that are operating up there. I mean, where does it stop? It's a snowball effect. So exactly. Nobody knows for sure. And there's a pretty loud drumbeat from the industry saying, look, we've already got a fuel tax in place. Right. That's our user fee.
We're okay with an increase in the fuel tax, right?
Well, we're not okay
to a point.
With it. But we understand it, and we can do that. But why add another bureaucracy when we've already got an infrastructure in place?
Right.
So.
Well, if there's an infrastructure in place to collect money to help fund the system, why not? If it ain't broke, don't fix it. Right. What else you got for us today?
Well, the other one is kind of a fun story. We're too serious in aviation, unfortunately, and this one's kind of neat. There's a travel writer by the name of, let me look it up here, Amber Nolan out of Rochester, New York. She's fulfilling some wanderlust, and she is hitchhiking her way around the country.
Well, people do that all the time, though.
But she's different. She's doing it with aircraft, and she is basically sticking her thumb out at the airport and saying, "Hey, can I get a ride?" And hopped over to her website, jethiking.com. And
jethiking.com, you can see that right here. Yeah.
Yep, she is actually reporting that she's visited 17 states, so she's 34% of the way done.
Wow.
So she's doing pretty good.
She's getting around.
But pictures, she's having a good time. So
every once in a while, somebody comes up with one of these genius ideas that I wish I'd have come up with, and this is one of them.
Yeah, absolutely. That would be fun. Although my wife and 3 kids and the business might go, where did he go?
Yeah, that might not quite work in my life either, because I've got a family. But it's a genius idea, and I'm so glad that she's doing it.
Yeah.
So more power to her.
Yeah, absolutely. Fun stuff.
So for these and lots of other stories, make sure you're heading over to generalaviationnews.com. You can find that link right here. You can find the links to these stories in the show notes. And we'll catch up with you next time, Ben, for more general aviation news.
Sounds great. Thanks, David. Take care.
Thanks so much. WinT is an aviation-themed t-shirt business specializing in creating digitally designed aviation-related graphics for pilots, aviation businesses, and aviation enthusiasts worldwide. A pilot of 20 years, Brian Rivera is the owner of and graphic designer for WinT, a small but growing e-business located in New York City. By using DTG printing technology, direct-to-garment enables WinT to print 1 or 100 garments upon request within a reasonably low turnaround time. Customized print jobs using customer-submitted graphics are also possible. WinT specializes in printing full-color photographs, line art, and logos using the most popular digital file extensions. Now, if you're a pilot and customization isn't your thing, WinT has a cool selection of popular pre-designed graphics created to fuel your aviation addiction, like this one here, and of course my current favorite, the Squawk VFR shirt. Visit WinT.com to order a Wing Rockin' Aviation t-shirt today. So when people ask me to define other people's airplanes, I tell them that it is an internet-based aviation video show. I could certainly just call it an aviation video podcast, but a huge number of people still do not know what a podcast is. If you are one of them, you are not alone. So what is a podcast? Well, think of a magazine subscription. When a new issue is produced, it shows up conveniently in your mailbox, ready for you to peruse at your leisure. Podcasts are digital media, either audio or video, that work in much the same way. When you find a podcast or show in which you are interested, you subscribe using a program such as iTunes. Whenever the show creator produces a new episode, it is automatically downloaded to your computer, allowing you to enjoy the show on your computer or portable media device when and where you choose. Other People's Airplanes is a video podcast, and as such, you can subscribe to new episodes in both iTunes, right here, and YouTube, right here. Now, Other People's Airplanes is not the only aviation podcast out there. In fact, there are a bunch of other aviation podcasts available for your eyeballs and ear holes. Every once in a while, I'll be telling you about some of my favorites. That's right, not only am I a creator of aviation new media content, but I am a consumer as well. So stay tuned to future episodes where I will tell you about my favorite aviation podcasts. For those of you who already do listen to aviation podcasts, what are your favorites? Perhaps you can tell me about one that I haven't found yet. Tweet me with your favorite podcasts right here, or drop us a comment on the Facebook page right here. If you are not on Twitter or Facebook, you can always find us at otherpeoplesairplanes.com. See you next time. That is a really bright light. And it's not even as bright as it needs to be. What's going to happen when I get like real lights in here? It's going to be obnoxious.